My name is Kathi Kamleitner. I run an online travel blog called Watch Me See, in which I write about Scotland and hiking in Scotland. Ever since I was little, my parents went on very outdoorsy and active holidays with us, so I started hiking as a very small child. I've always felt very comfortable being outdoors and being surrounded by nature and exploring my environment, and I think particularly moving to Scotland, moving to a new place, a new city, I really needed that connection to the landscape and the surroundings of where I moved to. It just helps me to connect with the place and also with the people and make my own life here. Slowly worked my way up to do more solo, long-distance hiking and wild camping by myself. One of the first solo hikes that I did was the West Island Way on the Isle of Bute in the west coast of Scotland, which is a 30-mile hike around the Isle of Bute, and it was my first time wild camping, so that was something very special, and I realised that just being outside by myself is something that I really need, and that gives me a lot of strength. But then I woke up in the middle of the night and I could hear the ocean so loudly and I could hear the waves crashing in, and I got really scared because I thought, what if the water actually comes all the way up to my tent? In the wilderness in Scotland, there's not very many other people. So that's actually not a fear or a risk really whatsoever. It's the nature that can really mess with you when you're out there. You know, the weather can change very quickly, particularly when you're up in the mountains. That can get very dangerous. But it's also just things you're not used to. Noises you're not used to hearing in the city, all of a sudden they're everywhere and you wonder what it is. You might not be familiar with it, so it's more the fear of the unknown, and that is nature. But the more I go out, the more known it becomes and the less, things can surprise me. The longest solo hike I've ever done was the Hebridean Way, which goes 155 miles from Battersea to Stornoway on the Isle of Lewis, and that took me about 2 weeks. So I was by myself for 2 weeks. On that first day I almost got lost in the mountains on Barra. They're not very tall, but they are quite significant mountains for an island. Clouds came so far down that at some point I was just surrounded by this white cloud and I could not see the next wee marker pole. So it was all very new and I was very nervous about being up there. It was raining, it was cold, I was tired and I was hungry and I couldn't find my way. And then I just kind of calmed myself down and said, you know what, you have been in this situation before and you've been fine. And I crossed the mountains. And I think once I had that behind me, I knew this was going to be fine. And whatever comes at me, I will be able to deal with it. Very challenging both physically and mentally. But then at the end of the day, there was this beautiful sunset on the Isle of Barra. And I felt like this is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing right now with my time.